class, Mr. Neidiger here and Danny. It's Thursday, June 4th, and I just missed out on a Charizard because I ran out of Pokeballs. What I gotta do here is use some math to try to figure out how many Pokeballs I need to stock up on, so I'll never run into this problem again. Mr. Neidiger's Pokemon Math Challenge. So, my goal here is to catch all of the original 150 Pokemon. So let's say at the Pokemart, there's a bundle for sale of 10 Pokeballs. So I need to figure out how many bundles I need to get in order to catch all 150 Pokemon. So it looks like this is going to be a division problem. And instead of using the standard division algorithm, I'm going to use the partial quotient strategy. And as you may know, we have a learning task this week using the partial quotient strategy. And you may have used this strategy with Ms. Collin before. What you're doing is splitting the dividend to make it easier to divide the divisor. So, for me, it's easier to draw something out or have a visual aid to help me figure things out. So here's a rectangle to represent our divisor, or the 150 Pokemon that I need to catch. And we're going to split it into two separate parts or values to make it easier to divide 10 into. Another way to look at it is we're basically saying 100 plus 50 equals 150. So let's take these two values that we've split our dividend into and divide them by 10. So we'll take 100 divided by 10, which equals 10, and then we'll take 50 divided by 10, which equals 5. So now we add those two values together. 10 plus 5 equals 15. And that gives us our answer. 150 divided by 10 equals 15. So, in order to catch all 150 Pokemon, I need to buy 15 bundles of 10 Pokeballs. I hope they're not expensive. So, let's do another one together. This time, I want to catch all 890 Pokemon that are in existence up until this point. This time around, I think instead of doing regular Pokeballs, I'm going to buy Great Balls, just so I can have a greater chance of catching them and they won't break out. And the Great Balls come in bundles in the Pokemart of 5. So we're doing 890 divided by 5. That's our equation. 890 is our dividend, and 5 is our divisor. So let's pull up our area model here. And instead of splitting up in just 2 parts, I'm actually going to split it up in 3 parts. For the biggest value, I'm going to choose 500 because that's going to be easily divisible by 5. For the second part, I'll do 350. And then the last part and smallest, I'll do 40. Let's double check that that all adds up. 500 plus 350 plus 40 equals 890. All right, so now we've split our dividend. Now it's time to divide all those values by 5, by our divisor. So 500 divided by 5 is 100. And then 350 divided by 5. We know that 5 goes into 35 7 times. But we got to take into account the place value there. So we carry that 0 in 350, and that makes 70. And then finally we got 40 divided by 5. And we know 8 times 5 is 40, so 8. Now we add all those values up. 100 plus 70 plus 8 equals 178. So 890 divided by 5 is 178. Holy cow. That means I need to buy 178 bundles of 5 Great Balls. That is going to break the bank. Thanks for joining me on my Pokemon Math Challenge. Go ahead and try doing those math tasks in our home learning menu today. And then just for fun, why don't you reply in the comments below what your favorite Pokemon is. And if you're not a fan of Pokemon, you can reply what your favorite animal is. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.